Good morning and welcome. It's good afternoon. It's the 13th of January. It's Wednesday. It's just gone midday in the UK. Hello, the world. Sorry about Monday. I wasn't here. Few things went on, and nothing COVID related. Don't panic. Nothing like that. But I was indisposed. Let's put it that way. I go to the doctors. All right, and you have to fight for those appointments at the moment. So we decided just to halt the programme on Monday. I do want to talk about the NHS today. There's no one in the room yet with us here, so I'm going to babble on. I'll do the headlines in a second. I do want to talk about the NHS because my wife came down with a very bad case of shingles, and I didn't realise how bad shingles was, and it's bad. So after I've done the headlines and we've hopefully got some people in the room, I want to talk about that because I do want to applaud the NHS because they were outstanding at the weekend. Just brilliant. Anyway, let's get on with the headlines. So the headlines are: the Republicans turn on Trump over impeachment. Some Republicans say they will join the Democrats and vote to charge the president with inciting insurrection regarding the riots at the Capitol last week. A large trial of new COVID treatment begins in the UK. It is hoped the treatment will help stop patients from developing severe illness from the virus. US executes only woman on federal death row. Lisa Montgomery, who killed a pregnant woman and took a baby, died by lethal injection in Indiana overnight. Mum's sadness at mean free school meal parcels. Schools will be able to give vouchers rather than food from next week. Thank goodness for that, the Education Secretary says. And are we really staying at home? The government is urging us to stay at home during the lockdown, but are we? And just breaking news, AstraZeneca has said that they're on track to soon deliver 2 million jabs a week to the UK, which is excellent. Still by myself here. This is weird. I don't know where is everybody? It's weird. Darren's not here. Mark's not here. It's all very strange. Anyway, hopefully they'll jump in. Maybe they've gone to the doctors as well. And we have to say good afternoon to Russ, avid listener and viewer. He says, hope you guys are staying well. Well, this is what I'm about to talk about. So we all had a little brief stint with the NHS over the weekend. Nothing COVID related, so let's clear that up first of all. My wife came down with shingles, and I just want to talk about how well Russ said he's here. Thanks, Russ. There are viewers. I've got lots of viewers, but I've got no one else to talk to. So shingles came out into our house. My wife had it. She's had chickenpox, so it comes out as shingles, I've been told. Had it on her face. I have got pictures, but I'm not going to show them because they are horrific. If you do want to scare a small child, please let me know, and I'll send pictures of Tina's face. She'll kill me for saying that. Sorry. So we rang up the doctors on the Sunday morning because she had blisters on her face, and they immediately booked us in. Well, 111 we called, and they booked us into a drive-through clinic, which was about 4 miles from where we live. So we booked in for 11 o'clock. We got that booking, went over there. People on the gate waiting for us, clipboard ready, walkie-talkies, everything, got us in. Nurse came out just to check her out, took some notes, some bits and pieces. Then doctor came out and took her in, actually, into the surgery and checked her out and gave her some prescription for viral tablets. But because it's around the eye area, they were panicking because it can scar the eye. So they booked us in at the eye hospital there and then, over in the centre of Birmingham. Just went straight there, straight through, got to see somebody. They gave us some drops and stuff like that and keep an eye on it and told her what to do. So the whole process from go to see the drive-through clinic to coming out the other end, 3 hours. And I was driving there, which is just phenomenal. I'm just checking to make sure I sent out. Oh, no, here he is. He is here. It's all right.
Hello there.
Where have you been?
Sorry.
Because I just thought, maybe I sent the link to the wrong place. I don't know.
No,
okay?
sorry, my is busy today. Why are you pixelated?
Am I
You trying to
pixelated?
hide?
No, I should be. I'm in direct connection, so it may be your end. Let me have a look
Am
on
I?
the. No, you are fine actually. That's the thing.
I
That's
need to be
weird.
pixelated. What's the trouble?
Well, that's true. I have heard. Let's just have a look then. No, I was just talking about the. Uh, oh, I've just had a message say Apple are up to something. Don't know what that means. Um, I was just talking about my NHS visit with Tina and her shingles at the weekend,
Ah,
which was brilliant.
it was
From
brilliant.
start, brilliant from start to not well. Obviously the disease isn't, but from start to finish, it was like we made the call in the morning, 10 o'clock. Got us in at 11. Went to the drive-through clinic. Ordered a sandwich as well.
Right?
Went in there, ordered a coffee. They looked at her, gave her some medicine, then sent her over to the eye hospital, and got her sorted out there. And
Sorry,
oh,
sent it
what's
to
the
the eye
setup?
hospital.
Yeah, because the shingles is around the eye. Now I've been
Oh,
told by somebody else that I am pixelated, which is
ah,
weird.
there you go.
So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what to do. You have to deal with it. Anyway, the whole process was 3 hours. 3 hours, start to finish.
Is that good?
I don't know. I drove to two different places. I drove to Dudley Road Hospital as
Blimey.
well in the process. It was 3 hours. So that
I
was
thought it
that
was
was great.
maternity hospital. That's a worry if you're going to maternity hospitals. It would be no.
No, wasn't maternity hospital. It's the eye hospital at Dudley Road.
Okay,
Just to let you know. So she's okay, but as I said,
good.
I have got a picture of her, but I don't want to put it on because I don't
No,
want to scare
oh,
kids.
okay.
I'll put it
Uh,
onto our private chat so you can see. And also, I've had a blood test this morning as well for my problem, which they
your
can't
problem.
find out. I don't know.
What's your
Problem
problem?
about
Do we need to be discussing your problem on live on air
I
or?
got a, I got a back. I got a back issue, and slightly at the front. I don't know why I'm talking about my ailments on air. Um, and they can't find out what it is. So they said, "We'll take some bloods and we'll find out." Okay, all right. So there we go.
So it's
Hey,
that
look, if
answer
you
to everything. Like.
it is take the bloods. That's it. They'll probably find something else now. I'll probably find I'm diabetic or something, and say, "Oh yeah, that's what it is. A bad back." Anyway, so how are you? What you got to talk about? Anything interesting?
Uh, no, not really. It was interesting to hear that your hospital experience. I was just wondering how that was impacted by COVID and everything else. So obviously it hasn't, and certainly
No.
Birmingham hospitals. I know that normally it's a massive delay, so that's good. But I did have a weird conversation. I think it was yesterday. A friend messaged me saying, "What's going on with all these electric scooters scattered around Birmingham?"
Oh no, I
Um,
saw that at the hospital.
Yeah, and he was at City Hospital. He said at City Hospital, so they were just literally lying around left, right, and centre. So he said, obviously for
Well,
my business,
they weren't lying
not
around.
no, they
They're
weren't.
in stands.
Oh, he said he's seen them literally on the corners. Just he must have seen a couple just left wherever, but I'm not quite sure how it works. But he was thinking, have they been legalised or whatever else? And because of my business, obviously, I'm not so much. The scooter industry doesn't interest me, though. I can get them very cheap if you want one. But the obviously legalizing electrical devices on the roads is very much in my interest, as in having tour businesses that are not just on private land. Would be fantastic. You know, if you look at the Camel Estuary and things like that. So I looked it up, and it looked like Birmingham has been on trial since September, where you can go 30-mile-an-hour roads on electric scooters, providing they're
Well,
hired from that company.
it's weird because I hadn't put two together because our MP has been or mayor, sorry, mayor, who used to be the boss of John Lewis. Go figure. And he's been advocating this for ages, and I didn't realise it had started. I've seen some pictures of him trundling around on it, and I just thought, well, I won't say what I was thinking, but yeah, there's pictures of him, and but they've appeared, and it's like at a high rate. I mean, they were right. There must have been five of them on the corner of the entrance to the hospital.
It's like they're
In
touting for
stands.
business, the hospital, though, isn't it? You would have thought of all places to trial, and maybe they're thinking that they're going to come off them, so they might as well have them close to a hospital so we can get them quickly, not have the
Yeah,
impact on
so that's on the
ambulances.
A and E units. That's it. Get them in
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
A and E units. That's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good thing where it was. Where City Hospital or Dudley Road Hospital? Is it City Hospital there? I don't know if it's called that.
I don't know.
Dudley
I
Road
don't know.
Hospital. It's I don't know. Is it the right place to put it? Is there many people going to use them there?
I don't know. Well, it's just interesting that that's the way they're going forward. I know I said how dangerous they're dangerous from a fact that they're twitchy and they're not, they're no more dangerous than a bicycle. I wouldn't have thought. But it'd just be interesting to see if it gets taken any further. But I know it's a trial, a 1-year trial apparently, so it must finish September this year. But then what happens at the end of that trial? And also, it made me laugh because obviously you can only use them if you hire them from a accredited company, and there's only one. I think they're called Zoe. And from whatever reading I've done in the past about electric scooters, it's not a viable business. I know a lot of the European countries are now saying it doesn't work for us because the cost of upkeep and everything else versus the actual money that comes in, the revenue isn't worth the effort. So it'd just be interesting to see how all that goes. Really,
we haven't seen it advertised.
No,
we haven't seen it. I haven't seen it advertised anywhere, other than his lordship was riding one and seen it on a corner of the street. So and there's no signs up saying anything. I don't even know. Is it a process of texting or?
Yeah, apparently. But I think we need our roaming reporter Grant to be on the case, and I want to see a picture of him or a video of him going down the street on one of these scooters.
On the scooter, there's definitely none in Solihull as far as I can see. I think there's mainly Birmingham. So I don't know. Maybe that's something to discuss at a later date and hopefully get Grant out on one.
Absolutely.
Oh, hang on. Someone's on. Russ is on the case today. He must be bored. Here we go. Let me click on this. Can I click on this? It's an actual link. Oh, I don't know if I can click on that.
The other thing is if you just buy your own scooter and paint it to look like a higher one, how will the police ever know that it's not one of the higher ones? Just paint it green, because I believe they're green.
Do
you think?
They're brown coloured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a brown. I'm just going to type this in. So just feel for a minute. Oh no, Solihull. There we go. First electric scooters.
Of course, yes, Solihull Post. Yeah.
So,
get out there, Matt. Get out and high one there. I want to see the whole team on one.
I don't want that on it. I'll do something else. Electric scooters. Here we go.
But it is interesting because one of the law, the very archaic law stipulates that there has to be pedals, and
oh really?
That's why you can have a push bike that's electric. So, for instance, my father-in-law's push bike, it has 3 modes. It's one of these foldable ones, and you can either have pedal assist. I can't think just pedal on your own, knacker yourself out, or normal a bike, or you can have full throttle, which is hilarious. Which obviously you just pull this little throttle back and off you go at 15.5 miles an hour. And it is the law that it has to have pedals. So you could, I can import a similar thing which doesn't have pedals, so it looks exactly like a bike with a seat with no pedals, but it would be totally illegal. And it's just a bit vague, isn't it? It's just strange that they're going by a law that I think is in the late 1800s. So
yeah, I've suddenly got loads of stuff here on it now. Hang on a minute, let me just I'm just going to save an image. They were orange, if you just want to know.
Orange, okay.
Coventry has launched them as well. It says here, so
be fantastic on their ring road. I love their ring road.
That's the last place I'd want to use it on.
Absolutely.
It's a great ring road. It's literally just what it says.
Absolutely.
It goes around the town, doesn't it?
But you can't get off it. That's a problem.
Right. There it is. That's it. That's what it looks like. I don't know where that picture's taken. They've coloured the sky as well. Some trendy bod at the marketing company has done that. But that's what it is. That's
Voy. That's it. Voy. Yeah, that's what. Little front suspension as well. So it's not a standard cheap thing.
I'm glad you're looking at it.
Yeah, it's got little forks. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
there we go.
I don't know how much they are to hire. I'm still trying to find. Ross, if you can find some information on it, let us know what the prices are, because he seems to be doing nothing else. He's sat at home doing nothing. Go and do some work, Ross. But find out how much it is to hire. That's what we need to know. So that's cool. All right, that's fine. I don't know where anybody else is. I'm upset because the amount of grief I had because I wasn't there on Monday.
You cancelled one. It was bad. You cancelled them. I need to have a word with Tina. Really, she could have gone to the hospital on her own. Really, or
no. I was at the doctor's myself.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Oh,
yeah. Now you're caring. But yeah, because you know what it's like trying to get a doctor's appointment. It's like,
Yeah.
well, come at 12:15. I went, oh, okay. So I'll take that one and took that. I'm going to have to peel this off because this is oh, I hate
Yeah.
doing things like this. Is great television now. This is.
Fantastic.
Oh,
I do think we need. Oh, I do think we
okay.
need our COVID fix today. We need
Do you want
obviously
some?
our
I
daily
wasn't going to talk about it.
our daily COVID fix. Well, I think for me, I think I'm bored of the numbers. I'm bored of trying to work out if it's the right or wrong thing to do. I think everyone's got their own ethics and their own um, moral standpoint there. I think for me, it's more about I wanted to talk about today was the mental struggle, and even where I live. So I live a stone's throw from a beach,
Beautiful part of the
beautiful
world.
area. Yeah, absolutely beautiful part of the world. I've got a job where I work from home anyway, so the reality is it hasn't had an impact on me from work wise, which is good. You know, I'm very lucky to have a proper job and a business, which is good. It's impacting the business obviously massively,
Of course.
um, but I spend my life looking at screens, and I think the latest news, which has elongated it down to March and then maybe past March, has had a psychological effect on me. I think we were working up to Christmas, and Christmas was our respite, where you think we've got something to aim for and something positive, and then you get past Christmas and you start thinking. Before then, you thought that world was going to get a little bit more normal with vaccines and it's all improving a little bit, and then we went off a cliff.
Yeah.
And then you sort of what you normally look forward to is a holiday or something to aim. But now we're sitting here and looking at this very dim light in the distance. And I think psychologically, I feel I'm in a very privileged position. I have a lovely, stable family, and I've got my challenges. Obviously, got a disabled son and whatever else. But nevertheless, I'm very privileged. But even from my mental ability, I'm finding it hard. I'm finding it hard to find that positivity, to the drive. I have many things to distract myself. I have fantastic hobbies. I've never had trouble to fill my time. People say, why would you retire? What would you do? Well, I'm sure I could retire today and find a million things to do. But the reality is, I think when you look how privileged I am, financially and my geography and everything else, and still finding it mentally hard. And I regard myself as really mentally strong. I really, feel for the people out there who aren't financially sound, who do need jobs. Who are, if you're a taxi driver, you're somebody who is being massively impacted, or works as a barmaid, or whatever it was to make ends meet, have a challenging home life. How them people are finding it, and I suppose this is where Grant has his argument: is that what is the wrong and right thing to do? I don't think there is one, but there definitely is a knock-on impact to lockdown. And whether that's just there's nothing we can do about that because it's necessary. It's a necessary evil. But I think the one thing we can't disregard is the fact that the mental impact on people, even like yourself, Matt, where you might be sitting there, you enjoy your own company, you enjoy being around your house, but nevertheless you'll miss going out to the monkey, you'll miss going out having a meal, just them freedoms.
That's the drummer monkey, not visiting a monkey. Just in case
I,
people don't
I was
realise the
referring
local
to having a
pub.
drink. I was referring to having a drink with Grant again. But sorry, Grant, you're getting a bit of stick. But yeah, it's just them freedoms, isn't it? It is incredible. We do not miss stuff. I could put this laptop around and show you a room full of stuff, and I do not miss
Yeah.
stuff. I miss people. I absolutely miss, and the thought of not seeing family for 3 months and all that good stuff. I miss that sort of social interaction. Where if you're taking away all my guitars and my piano, I miss them for a bit, but I'd fill it with something else or fill it with people. It's incredible, really. So yeah, I just wanted to. It's almost like a Maz moment, I suppose. But
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. No, I agree with you fully, and I'll I'll stretch that out a little bit. It's we're coming up to a year, aren't we? Really, where we've been in some sort of not a complete lockdown, but under rules and regulations that are stopping our freedom. Really, I know we had the summer, which was slightly more relaxed, and maybe that shouldn't have been as relaxed as it should have been, as it was. Sorry, but I'm I'm not missing anything really. Social contact. I mean, we like yourself, we've got a very busy house. So it's full of people and dogs and animals and chickens and everything else. So yes, you can. I've got all the gadgets as well, so I can play as much as I want and work as much as I want. Do the radio show, do all that, you know. Um, but there is that little bit, and it's not much. I've got to admit, I'm the one of the lucky ones where, I just miss going out with Tina.
Yeah,
Going
yeah,
out to somewhere different. I think that's probably the most important thing for us. Not so
absolutely.
much visiting people, because I have no problem with connecting with people on the phone, on Zoom, or doing this show or whatever. Um, but I think it's actually going out for a nice meal or something, which we didn't
Yeah,
do a lot of. But I think that's where the key is. It's because you still can do all your shopping. I mean, I know there's discussions going on at the moment regarding click and collect in certain stores and stuff. But you can still do all your shopping. You're never going to go without anything. The work side of things with people with money, yes, I've been listening to people this morning who have been saying that they're being forced into working in conditions that they shouldn't be working in, building sites and that type of thing where, it's not COVID compliant, but they've got to carry on working because they've got to earn money. So I fully understand that, and it is difficult, and it's hard. Um, as I say, I'm just one of the lucky ones that my business was online before this happened,
mm.
and everything. Yes, I went to a few meetings and stuff, but not that many, which I could have done over the phone. So
Well, I think it will
it's
have changed the world, won't it? I think the reality
yeah,
is, and it won't really go back to that. I think we will go back to contact. I
of
think,
course, yeah,
but it'll be quality time, and like you say, going out for a meal with Tina, it is about that quality time that we sort
it
of
is.
been it's taken away. It's all very much Groundhog Day, and everything becomes the same, and I think business will be the same. I think business the meetings will be hopefully more purposeful rather than just a
Well,
a meeting for meeting's sake.
those meetings for meeting's sake, with which is probably lined with a little bit of BS on it and stuff like that, can probably still be done by Zoom, and it's you know, and
Mm,
realistically, on the flip side of this, let's just put our save the planet hat on for a second. If we're not going out in cars and trains and planes and all that type of thing, and we're doing stuff on Zoom rather than travelling to that place, you're
mm,
travelling 100 miles to go in a car to go and have a meeting. Why can't it be done on Zoom? You know, it's those type of things are important to stop
yeah,
using the cars. So hopefully something good of this will come out of it. Um, it's just that it's just difficult to get that. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but bloody hell, it feels at the moment it seems a long way off. But
yeah,
AstraZeneca said from 2 weeks' time they are delivering 2 million doses a week to us. Um, so as far as I'm worked out, we've bought AstraZeneca ones, we've got the Oxford ones, we've got the Medina ones. So why aren't we doing more vaccinations? Why aren't we
yeah.
doing more vaccinations?
No,
Why is it?
again, no clue. I think and when you look at some of the key workers that aren't getting vaccinated, like the police and teachers and all the frontline people, they seem to be still way down the queue. It needs to be that is a bit farcical. I don't really understand that, but it is to not underestimate the logistical challenge. It is absolutely huge. I can't imagine being able to put that into production. This is a new stream. It's got pretty good production, huh?
Well, it must be our faces.
Of course. Yeah, it's just the good looking ones on today.
That's
Um,
it. Yeah,
but
you should see the ugly ones.
but
But
back onto the vaccinations though, Matt. Is
yeah,
again,
sorry, yeah,
Tracy asked me this, and I don't know the answer. Is the percentages, and this is where I would like Grant, because I know Grant is Mr. Detail when it comes to this sort of stuff. He really does go off and do his research, unlike us winging it each day. But
So
is that when
let's
they
just
say a
put. Go
percentage, do
on.
you understand it? So if they say
I
75, so if
know.
they say that normally, I don't get it. So are you 90% less likely to catch it, or do you get 90% less of the actual virus, as in it's very mild, or and which one has the most percentage? Because I'm now confused about the Oxford one. I'm hearing is the Oxford one 70%, or I must admit I've sort of switched
I
off.
think I think anything which is over I think anything over 55% gives you a very high chance of protection. And I think that's how it works. But anything which I think any of the vaccinations, what happens is that it stops you from getting seriously ill. Full stop. That's the key. You may, because it's lower, some of them are lower. You may still catch it, but you won't end up in hospital. You'll just get a bad case of flu. So hopefully that's the core of it. But yeah, are people asking? When they go, which one did they give to the Queen? Was it the
Yeah,
Oxford one?
absolutely. Yeah, which
You
one's the
know,
best?
or
Which because they're all very
well,
different as well.
well,
So
Pfizer's
you get a choice.
94%, isn't it? AstraZeneca's is 95. It's 94%, isn't it?
But I don't know
Um,
what that 94% means. Does it mean that you only get, when you catch it, you only get 6% of the virus, therefore it's very minor? Or is it you 94% less likely to catch it and you've still got 6% chance of catching a really bad version of it? What's it mean?
anybody
Grant,
know that
we're
one?
tasking you with this.
Anybody know that one? Because that'd be a
Yeah.
good one. Does anybody know what the percentages are? We only got a few minutes left. I
Yeah.
want to touch on something that
Okay.
Grant was ranting on about so much last year. We're talking about Grant so much today. That the I completely forgot what it's called now. It's about the death rate,
Oh, yeah.
and they've worked it out. They've took the deaths for the last year, which was 747,000 generally deaths across the year. That's not just from COVID. That's from everything, from old age and car crashes. Well, I don't want to start listing stuff, but there you go. We were on average 86,000 people more than it should have been. Now, when Grant was going on last year, and also I think Ben was touching on this, that saying, "Oh, the death rate is this, and the death rate's not. It's not being read correctly because they're saying somebody has a heart attack, and if they've got COVID, they're putting it down as COVID." Okay, fair enough. If they were doing that, they were doing that. But it clearly shows there was 86,000 more deaths last year than it should have been on
Yeah.
the average between. I think they work it out with 2 or 3 years before that, and they average it out. So
I wonder if
there
it's
is
anything to do with
obviously.
them scooters.
Well, let's hope not. That's not a good advertisement for them.
No.
But it's definitely saying that that we could what the rates we're actually saying are about right. What we're saying when we see each day, they have been
Yeah.
correct. It's not down to somebody writing down, "Oh, they've broken their leg and died. Oh, they've got COVID as well. Let's put it down as COVID." It's not about
Yeah.
that. There are 86,000 more deaths last year than there should have been. Um,
I think it's a moot point, to be honest, Matt. And the reason I say that is it's not just about the deaths. If you look at the
no,
hospitals, that's why I was interested in your hospital experience, because if you look at the hospitals,
quite.
and unfortunately, I watched Piers Morgan, I think it was yesterday. It drives me mad. I can't stand the guy. But nevertheless, he had four tabloids on, all sort of competitors against each other, all agreeing that they want to be in hospitals to scare the living daylights out of people more, to make them understand what's going on inside main hospitals and how that they are having to take over standard wards and make them intensive care wards, and the fear that's in the nurses, the fear that's in the doctors. That the reality is, it does matter about the deaths, but it's only one
No.
figure. The main figure is that when you suddenly get diagnosed with something and you do need care for whatever else there is, and that NHS that we depend on, that they are creaking now. They are pretty much almost full now, and when you go in for that extra thing, you had a good experience yesterday, and I hope that continues. But the reality is, when you look across that, the southeast are sending patients down to the southwest, where we only have one hospital in Cornwall, and there's three in Devon overall, as in Plymouth, Exeter, and North Devon, and patients are coming across this way because they're running out of beds. So that's a bigger figure to me than just the death figure. That the
Oh
reason.
no. You're right. You're completely right there. I understand that. But my only point regarding the death rate was that the people who are saying
It's not real.
Grant. Yeah, it wasn't Grant or Ben saying it wasn't real, but they were just saying, "Oh, you shouldn't believe all about the
It's
deaths."
massaged.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's correct. There is 86,000 more deaths than there should have been last year. Unless it was down to something else that we missed. Some other
The reality is,
pandemic.
though, how do you say someone died of COVID? you know, you say somebody died of COVID, they died of pneumonia, have died of their lungs failing, or they died. So it's a hard process and a hard thing to take. So that's why they caveat it now. Died of COVID within having a positive
28 days.
diagnosis within 28 days. So it's a contributing and probably a major in each death. I would hope. Hope it's probably the wrong word, but I would have thought that it's a major contributing factor to why that person died. It might not be the actual reason. So there is a point to be made there. But we go back to the nonsensical Joe Public who aren't paying attention, who are walking around not with their masks in supermarkets, all this good stuff. And this is why the government are probably going, well, we don't know if it is or it isn't, so let's say it is. You know, because
there is a scare factor to this.
They have to do that, yeah. I think there is an element. They just have to do that.
And it's going to get tighter, unfortunately.
Yeah,
we're just running out.
It is.
The rules are going to get tighter, and as they should be, because the rate shouldn't be going up. We're supposed to be in lockdown. It worked last time. Just bloody stay at home. It's ridiculous.
Well, let's work on how we stay sane rather than how we beat each other up. And I think that's going to be more key coming over the next few months. I think the reality is people are looking at each other's basket watching. People are looking at, have you seen that video of the police sitting down at the services, having their lunch? You're not allowed to sit down in the motorway services, but there were 4 police sitting there and someone filmed them and had to go with them. I'm sorry, but these are frontline people. That the one rule for us, one rule for them. What a load of rubbish. These are frontline people who are having to put themselves in risk. And if they have to sit down somewhere rather than their car, and they have had some exemption to it, then so be it. Just get on with your day and carry on and have some common sense. So let's work out how we stay sane over the last 3 months rather than going, what Joe Blogs is doing. You know, I think that's where we should be rather than beating everybody up.
I posted out last night, I'll leave it on a positive note, that Netflix, obviously the Netflix fees have all gone up.
Okay.
They announced, they've all gone up.
That's positive.
No, I want to get to that point in a minute. You haven't got Netflix. Okay. Why not?
I don't get time to watch telly. I get like 1 hour a night if I'm lucky.
So yeah, they put the fees up, which is fine. I'm okay with that. They've got to make more money because they're making productions. But they announced last night they are releasing a brand new Netflix film every single week in 2021. Every single week. I mean, we're not talking TV movies. We're talking high-scale, high-budgeted, high-production films that they're releasing every single week. Now, I think one of the main ones is the most expensive film ever made. The most expensive paid actors ever made, which is The Rock and the guy who played Deadpool. Oh God, what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. So it's Ryan Reynolds and The Rock, and Wonder Woman's in it as well. And out of those 3, it's the highest paid movie to actors ever made. Netflix have done it.
The Rock.
2 weeks. Yeah,
he's not right up there, is he? With the best actors, so we get paid.
No, it's not about that, is it? It's about bringing the money in. People like to watch him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So Netflix, it's gone up a little bit, but keep going with it because they've got a new movie every single week. That'll keep it going through 2021. Definitely, not just us. With us,
absolutely.
Because that wouldn't be good if you just had us. Anyway.
No. Especially
Darren,
a pixelated.
Thank you very much for joining me.
No worries. Daryl's life.
Am I all normal?
No. You've gone in and out of normal as the show's gone on. But I'll say it. Go on.
1 terabyte, obviously, 1 gig, whatever it is. I've won something fiber virgin thing here.
Right.
But since I've had this box put in, I've suddenly now got 3 other Ethernet cables which are now plugged into it, which are going around the house to other people's PlayStations and Xboxes. I think that's got something to do with it. I think
I would log onto that box and do some throttling on them connections if I was you. I'd lower their rate. It would.
Anyway, Darren, thank you very much.
No problem. I'll catch you on Wednesday. We are on Wednesday. I'll catch you on Friday. Week's going fast.
We'll see you on Friday.
All right, buddy. See you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.